Hey, hello everybody. I am back. I took a bit of a mental reprieve, but I never stopped watching wrestling. But yeah, you know how it can be. It's Tuesday night, and you know what that means. We have gone through another fun session of pro wrestling with AEW Dark. Also, previously, as yesterday, AEW Dark Elevation, as we're coming off an incredible AEW pay-per-view. So I'm back once again to bring you a simple double take as we look at this week's AEW Dark Elevation and AEW Dark. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you again. And once again, welcome to my simple YouTube channel where I'm giving you a simple double take. My name is Noah Foster, and I am just a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. And I'm just going to give you my brief takeaways and outlooks of all the matches we've seen so far, and maybe light discussion of the outcomes of Double or Nothing and what's to come this Friday on a special edition of AEW Dynamite. With that being said, it's 9:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is getting dark. I am tired, but I figured, why not? I'm coming off a great business call, and I'm in an awesome mood. Let me talk to you. So first off, our opening match was, the Acclaim brought it to the fans, and they want to get their name as they make their way to go into fame. I'm sorry. Anyway, the Acclaim, Platinum Max Paul, they took on the team of Brent and Brandon Tate. Brent and Brandon Tate had a little bit of offense there going, but this actually was one of the shorter matches of the night as the Acclaim were literally just eating the crowd. By the way, crowds being back was just the things not only wrestlers need, but pro wrestling needed in general, whether you were there live or whether you're like me, sitting right in the comfort of home. This felt so good on so many levels. Truly enjoyed this. Anyway, there was a nice drop kick into a Death by Driver tag combo later on as Anthony Bowens got the hot tag, and then the pickup into the side slam as he sets up for the mic drop for Caster to get the win in this match. Good shows. The Acclaim continued to roll here. I kind of wanted to see more of what Brandon could bring. I feel like we get more of the other one showing up here. Again, I think they have great personality. I just want to see what else they can bring in the ring. I wouldn't mind seeing these two take on like TNT, for example. Anyway, before we go into another match, we do go into a brief reprieve as we look back at what happened at AEW's Double or Nothing. Go watch that if you haven't yet. That is pro wrestling, people. And literally, we're talking with the winner of the Casino Battle Royale as Jungle Boy won that night and will challenge Kenny, my God, Omega, who won his match, 2 weeks on AEW Dynamite for the AEW World Championship. As Tony Schiavone was getting an interview with him subtly, though, it was Christian Cage who came out and interrupted. But really, he was basically here to say that he looked at Jungle Boy and he saw something different in him. Because Christian lives by the philosophy, you got to hate to lose and love to win to be a champion. And basically, he said that you showed that, now go earn it. Another strong endorsement from the great veteran. And as Christian was going to leave, and as Jungle Boy was taking a moment to take it all in, before I could answer Tony Schiavone's retort, it was, of course, sore loser, Matt Hardy coming in saying he hates him. You're going to pay for what you did. Next thing you know, private party, they attack from behind, and Jungle Boy just sees like, what the hell? And he comes in and basically saves Christian. I feel we have a tag team match in our hands, as it looks like Jungle Boy and Christian Cage are on the same page, and Matt Hardy, he is out for vengeance against another person. So we'll see where this goes. Meanwhile, it was time to get legit, as legit Layla Hirsch in her first match inside AEW in front of a full audience. She took on, well, maybe not full eyes, but very good sized people, audience and not people. She took on the very game Robyn Renegade, right here from the Ohio area, represent. And I must say, Robyn Renegade, she of course had the size advantage, as most of Layla's opponents do, but she also had a very good, strong power game here in the early going. There was some moments, though, where I feel like Robyn was trying to feed to the crowd, because again, when you have that experience, it's kind of what you want to do, but maybe you're not fully sure how to. And it looks like she was in control for some part, but she was being a little overconfident. And when you take legit Layla Hirsch, likely when she's on the mat, you're going to end up regretting it, because overconfidence can break you. Or end up getting you suplexed, as legit Layla Hirsch pulled off an explosive suplex, followed by a running knee follow up into a cross arm breaker and immediate tap out. And legit Layla Hirsch continued to roll forward and wins. I liked how Robyn here was really trying to control her opponent and the pace of the match. Again, she has a strong big boot game with those subtle like heel type boots with heels. I guess being a former dancer, kind of a different way to showcase yourself as far as your stance goes in the ring. And she uses it to her advantage. But again, legit Layla Hirsch, too legit, too powerful. And she's just right now too much on this role. And I love her just shooter style when it comes to her look and her wrestling game. She just lays in everything she throws, and she loves it. So good win for Statlander Hurst and good showing for Robyn Renegade. Anyway, as we move on to our next match, it was Excalibur and Paul White who were together, as of course these Elevation and Dark matches took place over certain days during the AEW Double or Nothing Fan Fest. Anyway, as Excalibur and Paul White came together, they came here to talk about the match between Reka Tahaka and Thunder Rosa. And Thunder Rosa with a massive pop. Literally in the early going, these two, they were tit for tat, move for move, and the aggression was shown by both as that Tonga Samoan style came into play with a ridiculous headbutt. Seriously, I always been like, nobody wins in a headbutt, but I think when it comes to a Samoan, that might change the rule because boy, was Thunder Rosa rocked from that. But I guess a stiff Tonga headbutt gets the receipt from Thunder Rosa with a ridiculous follow-up in the corner with the running basement drop kick, followed by some stiff chops and slaps. As these two are literally sharing each other blow for blow, as we move towards the end of this match, there was a death driver into the Peruvian Calavera necktie submission, and Thunder Rosa literally bending the vertebrae, yeesh, of Reka backwards, almost to the point like an accordion. Reka had no choice but to tap out. Again, Reka is one of those that I like with her style and her attitude. And also, she showed a lot of aggression here, going up against one of the best in the game. As Thunder Rosa continues to move forward, I thought this was a pretty good match as well. And again, always good to see Thunder Rosa. You never get something bad with Thunder Rosa. Anyway, we go into tag team match now. It's Chaos Projects, Lufer, and Serpentico. They took on the Varsity Blondes, who developed a slow feud here since the events that happened last week. By the way, quick reprieve for you for the last week I may have missed. Kris Statlander, Diamante, The Red Velvet, you name it, Hotch. So many great debuts and awesome matches across both Elevation and Dark. Maybe I'll get back to those and do like a little encore double take from the last week as well. And if you all want some Foster Guy Double Nothing, I suggest checking out Aramis' review on No DQ. But maybe I'll do a simple take before the week is through. Maybe before Dynamite too. Only time will tell. Work, folks. Anyway, as we go into this tag team contest, this rivalry continues. And Julia Hart was, of course, in the Varsity Spine corner. Such a perfect fit with her cheerleading background. The good match really going, it was Griff Garrison, who was basically on the apron at first, as Brian Pillman was taking it back to the guy that was trying to squash him with their finisher, and that was Lufer. Lufer, of course, using his partner Serpentico as literally a living weapon. Serpentico was like, no, 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 although I think he secretly likes it. And in the early going, it was a smart tag team move behind the rest back that gave Chaos Project the control until Griff Garrison finally got a hot tag in here, and he went to town. Ridiculous big boot, by the way. And literally, this was after Julia Hart saved Brian Pillman Jr. with some nice cartwheels and literally protecting Varsity Blondes from a ridiculous high-risk move from the top rope to the outside, which allowed the Varsity Blondes to get the advantage here. After that, we got some high-risk offense only for a 2 count, and literally, I thought this was it. But Chaos Project, they came back, they followed up, and they finally hit their finish with the Creepy Death, and it was saved before the 3 count by, of course, Griff Garrison. As the Varsity Blondes tried to garner control in the final going of this match, they pull it together with a nice combination of a discus forearm vicious by Griff Garrison, as Brian Pillman Jr. comes in flying off the top rope with a flying clothesline and gets the win for the team. Gotta consider Julia Hart here. Julia Hart was not there. I'm pretty sure this match probably would have had a different result. And this was a nice, subtle filler feud, I feel like, in this ever-deep tag team division. As the Varsity Blondes, of course, coming off the tag team title loss, they are trying to, of course, regain momentum, ultimately in pursuing the AEW Tag Team Championships, and I would not count them out. As we move forward from there, we go into another little promo as we have the Natural, one of my all-time favorites, Respect. 5 decades, earned and still going. Dustin Rhodes, he comes in with his bull rope. As of course, I will tell you about what's happened this coming Friday on Dynamite. He had some words to say to one man that eliminated him from the Casino Battle Royale with the use of that bull rope and its cowbell, the Beast, Nick Camarado. And basically, he said that coming forward, you have got hell to pay from you. You might be strong and powerful, but you lack the one thing that I truly have that drives me forward, that will lead me to victory, and that is passion. A receipt's coming and a bulldog to hell. So says the Natural, Dustin Rhodes. All I gotta say is get it done, man. I'm looking very forward to this match. And he also alluded to that he's never lost a bull rope match either, which I find very interesting. Anyway, though, as we move on from there, we go into women's tag team action as the duo of the Beast Nyla Rose, introduced by Vicky Guerrero. Ow, my ears. Her partner, the Bunny, Allie. Yay, Allie. They take on the duo of Big Swole and the Red Velvet. I'm sure Kylie King was dancing from ringside in her nice dress. Anyway, in the early going, we had Allie in the ring as we went basically from, well, first off, Swole was just literally eating the energy and her cream up. Swole really loves her cream. Anyway, we go from stirring it crazy as the Red Velvet and Allie. They are in the early going, basically exchanging one another with each other. We get tags in now for power and intensity as Nyla and Big Swole come into play, and things really shifted here. As Nyla was really trying to overpower Big Swole, and she really was. At one point, Big Swole did garner the advantage, though, with some ridiculous forearm strikes. But due to some tomfoolery, there was a vicious sliding elbow in the corner. Great tag team offense by Nyla Rose and Allie, basically controlling and isolating Red Velvet. And then there was a nice crossbody off the top rope, but it was not enough for the match. And then literally at one point, Nyla Rose comes into play and planted with a chokeslam, folks. I mean, emphatically planted the Red Velvet as the Red Velvet was on the verge of basically eating the fall on this team. And by the way, there was Private Party, Big Guerrero. I wonder if Matt Hardy and Big Guerrero trying to maybe form some business partnership here. Anyway, as the Red Velvet did finally get a hot tag in here, it was Swole who got the really momentum back for the team here as she took it to Nyla Rose, who looked like she was about to maybe beast bomb her, only for Swole to come back and literally spin Nyla Rose around to a ripcord and dirty dancing, broken up by Allie. Though this would have been it here, but Allie stopped the pinfall. And then Allie basically takes out Velvet as the two clash, and then literally eats a boot by Swole. As Swole was about to go in for the kill here, there was distraction and numbers game below on the outside, and of course, Allie with the gift of punch, it seems, with a foreign object. She literally KOs Swole, which allows for Nyla Rose to simply pin Big Swole for the win for the team. And now Allie has seemed to have found, I think she's sus, but for now seems an effective tag team partner as this continued feud of more so Allie, Swole, and I was saying Kylie King is ensuing. But then again, nobody likes Nyla Rose as far as the character goes. This was an interesting match, and I'm curious to see where this business partnership may go. May this become a more long-term tag team? Although I thought she, Maddie Wazowski last week were very well together, even in defeat. And I wonder now if Kylie King's going to come back and play, because I know Kylie King wants round 2 with the Bunny one-on-one, because she was the first to eat this gift of punch, I'm going to call it. Rabbit punch, I guess? I'm not sure what to even call that, but call it effective, whatever it is, that covered brass knuckle, because that's clearly what it is, because it allows Allie to get the wins here. Anyway, as we move on from here, as we wonder to see what's next for the Hardy Family Office and this Vicky Guerrero enterprise, I guess you could call it, we go up to a backstage interview with Joey Janela with Alex Marvez, who kind of makes him feel confused and uncomfortable, but more so we're questioning Joey Janela's mindset at this point, who we already think's insane, but also his friendship, it seems, with his partner Sonny Kiss. As of course you all saw last week, Sonny Kiss was getting obliterated by Team Taz. Joey Janela did not come in. But he says that they are on good terms and it's cool. We're tag team partners. We talk about it and it's all understood. And as he also said, he was going to invite Alex Marvez to some sort of beach party, but I guess he never got the text. He invited him to this big mama, some sort of club. And Alex Marvez was like, huh? I don't know what sort of clubs exist in Miami or, sorry, Jacksonville, Florida, wherever this is. He says he's going to Miami. So maybe someone else geologically can explain to me what the hell Joy Janela was talking about, because I was just confused as Marvis. But here's the thing I think about here. The guy's banged up. The guy's been hitting the head a number of times. We've seen this tandem chemistry with Sonny Kiss, Joy Janela. We wonder how far it will go. With these two as a tag, has been pretty effective. But you got to wonder, no tag team lasts forever. And with this incredible depth of tag teams, are these two on the verge of forming their own singles feud? Who comes out better in the end of that too? Only time will tell. But I think that's just something to think about. And we're going to see how Joy Janela and Sonny Kiss coexist going forward. So stay tuned. Meanwhile, as we go from there, we go into a great match of high velocity, high risk action as he drops the beat and he fills his vibe as always. Jack Evans with Angelico in his corner. He took on Cero Miedo with, of course, Alex Cablejantes in his corner. I'm talking, of course, about Penta El Cero Miedo. And this was a really good match. As, of course, nearly going, these two were jaw-jacking. And Jack Evans, without a mic, still insisted on monologuing, and I did not get a single word that he said. Sorry, folks. With that being said, moving forward, I'm just like, what is he saying? He's just constantly monologuing here. It's like it's grocery list, and he's arguing, he's talking about how great he is, because we know how far Jack Evans can pontificate when it comes to big words and structural sentences to bring forth a convoluted point. And of course, after a while, we finally get him to shut up as Penta literally just kicks his legs inside out, chops him down, and at one point literally takes the glove off. Alex, good catch. As this kept going forward down the line, Jack Evans was showing some high risk, crazy offense. A couple of nice near falls, but just says no. As we get towards the end here, though, there was no outside interference. I was quite surprised by this. But a Canadian destroyer with the Fear Factor package pile driver follow-up allows Penta to put away Jack Evans. Silo, miedo. That is really getting over with the audience. And by the way, we also know that Penta and Pac will be in tag team action. We'll talk more about that a little later. I thought this was a really good match. I'm glad to see finally more of TH2 and Isaac because they're such a dynamic, capable tag team or singles, no matter who you got in the ring. I hope that they do move forward in AEW. But Penta, he's been one of those right now that I feel like we're trying to finally see if he finds his spot, either in singles or tags. Some people think he probably should be even champion at this point. But I thought this was a pretty good match. Moving on from there, we go into what I think was the happiest moment in Tai Kanji's life, aka her wrestling career too, as Tai Kanji, with the biggest smile I've ever seen and all the energy possible, she came out and took on, of course, Ashley D'Amboise. And Ashley D'Amboise, of course, she was dealing with Tai Kanji, who is always ready to fight. And as soon as the bell rings, she turns it up into another gear. And she did that as we get right into a forearm strike into that ridiculous twirling backbreaker on the outside of the ring. As Ashley D'Amboise was trying to control Tai in the early going, she definitely had the more reach advantage. But literally following this, it was pretty short work, as of course, Tai did set up the combo with the Tai KO and the DD Tai at the end of this match to get a very effective win. I like what Ashley D'Ambrose here brought from an offensive standpoint, but her kicks are just not as stiff as those freaking punk kicks by Tai Kanji. Tai Kanji right now might have the toughest, stiffest punk kick in the game. But again, Tai Kanji overjoyed with seeing the fans, seeing how they react to her. She is definitely one of the brightest things going AEW and wrestling right now. So mad respect to her and all the best. And a nice win. And again, she keeps moving forward with her smile and a shimmy. Great stuff. Anyway, as we move on from there, we literally go into our main events as we have the gritty JD Drake taking on in Paul White's, whereas the grizzled Jungle Boy, who of course is coming off his victory at the Casino Battle Royale, see if he can carry momentum. I like how JD Drake finally came out without that weird glittery fishnet shirt and came out true, gritty, ready for a fight. And he did that. So literally, we go into this match and the fans, of course, they sing in glory Jungle Boy's theme. And 80s classic, folks. Go look it up or Shazam it. Have your Alexa look it up for you. Anyway, as these two literally go tit for tat and fight, it was JD Drake's power that really was controlling a majority of this match. He took on some big, risky offensive moves, including a cannonball, but somehow Jungle Boy, he follows it up with a nice jackknife cover, also for a nice fall, not enough. Anyway, near fall. Oh, by the way, it was JD Drake that actually followed that. Sorry, botch. I can't remember everything. There was also a ridiculous DDT for a nice 2 count, but it wasn't enough. As Jungle Boy came out from fighting underneath, and it seemed like Luchasaurus was isolating the wingman, as they're now called. Unfortunately, JD Drake, he did fall, of course, to Jungle Boy's ace in the hole submission-wise. That snare trap submission, no choice but to tap out. I'm surprised Jungle Boy was able to lock that in on such a big opponent like that. But this was a really good match, great closer, send the crowd happy, and Jungle Boy continues to roll forward as Jungle Boy is one of the most ambitious, relentless, and again, as Paul White says, grizzled competitors on the entire WWE roster as he waits for Kenny Omega in 2 weeks. And that concluded AEW Dark Elevation. It was a nice under 90-minute presentation with the fans back. I imagine going forward, they might be even a little shorter than that with them going on tour back in July. But I thought everybody here had a great show and connected with the audience well. It seemed like everyone was well received, whether you were heel or face. So that definitely helped drive the competitors going forward. As of course, the AEW signees, they did on the night. But of course, you look at the rising future of wrestling being elevated here. And Ashley D'Ambrose, Robyn Renegade, JD Drake, and the Tate twins, and more. And I think wrestling has a very bright span to go with these young competitors. Who knows? Some of them might become all elite. We'll see. Anyway, as we move forward from there, that was AEW Dark Elevation. We now move into AEW Dark, which of course was tonight, and we only got 5 matches. A very simple showcase, to say the least. Let's go ahead and look at what we saw. So our opening bout was Cesar Bononi and Ryan Nemeth, now known as the Wingmen. They took on the currently undefeated Gun Club duo in the one real Billy Gunn and, of course, Colton Gunn, as Austin Gunn is still injured. A good back and forth match as Cesar Bononi was definitely controlling the pace of it with his power. Ryan Nemeth, of course, trying to showboat in front of Billy Gunn. Bad idea. As they tried to also isolate Colton Gunn, but it was, of course, Colton Gunn who, come the end of this, he did get the win as Billy Gunn with a hot tag really was taking over this match, and a famous by him nearly ended it, but it wasn't quite enough. As, of course, Ryan Nemeth was burying his trophy, it seems, and they isolated Cesar Bononi. Maybe they were distracted by cheerleaders. There were cheerleaders also on the ringside area, but who knows? It was the double underhook, of course, into the twisting neckbreaker slam, also known as the Colt 45, that allowed for Colton Gunn to get the win for the Gun Club, keeping their streak alive as he pinned Ryan Nemeth. Again, these two, they are driven by, of course, wrestling, but they're also doing this now with their fallen ally, Austin Gunn, brother, of course, and one of the sons of Billy Gunn. And I feel like that the pretty picture, whatever you call it, they got a little bit full of themselves, but what do we expect from somebody called the Hollywood Hunk as he bears his trophy, best son, as Taz Caballero too? Well, that's probably just from your son's trailer, Hook's trailer. Pretty funny stuff. If you don't, necessarily connect with the wrestling, you should connect with the fun banter and commentary with Taz and Excalibur. Anyway, as we move on from there, we hype up tonight's main event, which will be a match of Man versus Bear, as Jungle Boy will take on the ever impressive Bear Bronson in singles action. And basically, I was just thinking like this, like the movie The Remnant, where the Bear won. I guess there's no gun involved, and I'm pretty sure Jungle Boy was in for a hard fight here, as again we have a match of wild proportions, but that'll be later. We now move on from there into one of my favorites on this roster, the Galaxy's greatest alien, Kris Statlander. She took on Robyn Renegade, represent Ohio. And Kris Statlander, of course, she comes in to huge fanfare with her boys, the best friends in metallic space pants. I don't know if they were trying to be robots or satellites, astronauts, or what, but boy, those pants stick out. And literally in the early going, right before the match starts, boop, to Bryce Remsburg, and the match begins. As Kris Statlander goes to boop Robyn Renegade, Robyn denies and says no, and I'm like, well, you've already screwed up. Number one rule you do with Kris Statlander, don't deny the boop. And eventually, she did get booped, as of course Kris Statlander literally went around orbit on her with cartwheels, of course her unorthodox offense, but incredible agility, and does boop Robyn Renegade, which kind of ticked Robyn Renegade off. Into making some sloppy moves until Robyn Renegade was literally on the outside looking in, and Kris Statlander was controlling her with nice press slam power combination. And literally following that, she breaks the count and rolls back out. She revealed last week against Diamante. Go watch that match with Diamante, by the way, folks. Literally just splashes her. What a great innovative way to break a fall and also keep on your opponent. But Robyn Renegade, she did fight back with those unique boots and that dancing background, some stiff strikes and kicks, literally busting open the alien. But of course, it was all for naught, as Robyn Renegade, she had some strong offense going forward, but looked like she was basically acting on instinct, didn't really know how to connect it or how all to do it, as Taz Excalibur was alluding to, with some good forearm shivers in the corner, strong big boot. But unfortunately, when it came to her trying to pull off a big power move, Kris Statlander was the strong one at the end of the day and got trapped. And once again, you cannot deny or defy, boom, the Big Bang Theory, as she was planted and cover, and Kris Statlander wins. But the alien did, of course, was scarred, so Robyn left her mark. A very good aggressive showing by Robyn Renegade. Again, she definitely had a very good power force focus on this match. If she probably grounded Kris Statlander more, I think she could have took this a little further. And again, it was like she just needed to plan ahead, I think, rather than just act on pure instinct. But again, against someone as an orthodox Kris Statlander, it did work for her favor a little bit. So maybe she should continue to follow up on this. We'll have to wait and see. But Kris Statlander, of course, she gives us the elbow meme and the thumbs up as they come together with the best friends, because you got to give the people what they want. I kind of wonder at this point, though, with Kris Statlander being the guy's greatest alien, are the best friends trying to be robotic in themselves, like someone out of Transformers? Just saying. And by the way, Kris Statlander, she bleeds red, not green, not blue. She might be an alien, but she's also human too. Proven. Just saying. Anyway, as we move forward, we go into trios action. As I was a little annoyed they didn't drop the beat, but it is what it is. Chaos Project with Jack Evans and Angelico, King and Serpentico, that was the trio. Of course, Luke was in their corner. They took on the Dark Order, who came, of course, out to a great elevation. That's everybody, of course, supports now the Dark Order because of the late, great Brody Lee. Anyway, they took on the trio from the Dark Order of Alan Five Angels, Alex Reynolds, and Stu Grayson. In my opinion, the fastest, the toughest, and the most dangerous, in that order. And it was proven here. As in the early going, it was literally all Dark Order that was basically isolating and controlling Serpentico until Luthor came into play with a distraction that put it into the trio's favor, only for the rest of the Dark Order to literally send Luthor off and running. Luthor might be the death dealer, but he is not outnumbered himself when it comes to the Dark Order. Too many numbers. Bye-bye, see ya. So it became a two trios match following this. And then literally, of course, we get, well, what would you expect from Jack Evans? Another random monologue. No one hears what he's saying, but Taz's like, you almost wonder if Taz is trying to be like a pirate or someone, or Mr. Krabs. He could be like the guy in that painting. And anyway, King Serpentico, he proved to me that, yeah, he likes when Luthor punches him, and he feels out of place when Luthor is not, because he literally was playing the crowd like, no. Okay, I'll just do it to myself. Bam! Literally throwing himself on top of his opponent. Of course, they were controlling, of course, Alan Five Angels. Anyway, trios assisted moonsault, though, with the hot tag to Stu Grayson, as we get a nice near fall, but not quite enough. As once again, we get a thrust kick out of midair with Alan Five Angels' speed getting nailed by Serpentico, and I thought Serpentico nearly had it here with a beautiful 450 splash. Cover, not enough. Again, it doesn't matter what you deal with the Dark Order, they always seem to pull it together. And then literally as Stu Grayson came in for the last hot tag, and Jack Evans, or excuse me, watch, and Angelico and Alex Reynolds, they took out the other two members. It was Jack Evans who took a brutality, in my opinion, as of course, Stu Grayson hit his Nightfall backbreaker to get the win for the Dark Order. This was some great trios action. I would not consider TH2 and Serpentico necessarily a trio, but they had some effective offense when it mattered, and they came close. But again, when it comes to the Dark Order, they are just so in sync. It doesn't seem like what combination you use against them. It just always works with them. So in most matches, I am going to go with the Dark Order, and it was proven here. But good stuff, though, by all six men. Anyway, we move on from there into what I thought was my match of the night, as attitudes, kicks, and fists ensued, as it was all stirred up here among these two, as Diamante, again, one of my all-time favorites in AEW, and definitely an all-time standout women's pro wrestling, folks. She took on the Red Velvet. And her and the Red Velvet had a very aggressive clash, with Diamante finally controlling the Red Velvet after the Red Velvet had some early offense going with some stiff kicks. But it was mostly Diamante for a good portion of this match. She, of course, sent out the tribute to Eddie Guerrero with the uno, dos, tres, the three amigos. Nice suplex combination for a nice near fall. And then again, Diamante showing her unorthodox offense arsenal increase. She goes off the ropes and literally flat splashes, like plank-wise, flat splashes with a jump, the Red Velvet for another nice near fall. Anyway, ridiculous double knee strike though to the back, and a moonsault follow-up almost gave the Red Velvet, sorry, I just go off the tack. Red Velvet the win, but she got a near fall off that. Both these legs going tit for tat, not giving each other really any distance. As Diamante came out from underneath and tries to go for the standing sliced bread, shout out to the man with a plan, the Brian Kendrick, it wasn't enough, and literally we go into a Casa Dora, which is like literally a wheelbarrow stand-up, try to take him over maybe for a sunset flip. But no, it gets literally related to a release German suplex. Nasty effective move. Great counter wrestling being shown by Diamante throughout this entire match, but great resilience shown by Red Velvet. As we get towards the end, though, another suplex. It looks like she basically rode through it. I thought she landed on her head or neck, and it was enough to allow her to land a couple of kicks, including delivering just desserts to Diamante. Red Velvet continues to roll forward with another great win. it never surprises me how much Diamante puts forth in her matches and how much she puts forth in that ring. And Red Velvet, she's become a really good rising star, coming off, of course, that loss to Serena Deeb for the NWA Women's World Championship. But overall, I thought this was, again, a really great women's contest. And Diamante, she continues to just keep moving forward. Even in defeat, her momentum is not necessarily way the wins and losses matter. And she's not signed AEW. She's just going to keep moving forward onto the next opponent. And again, I would never count her out against seeing this person again and getting the same thing. I'm pretty sure she wants to go after Kris Statlander again. Red Velvet just got added to that list. But good stuff. And then we move on from there into our main event, Animal Warfare, as I have to call it, as Jungle Boy takes on Bear Bronson, man versus bear. I know, right? It literally writes itself. And literally, it was Bear Bronson's power that was definitely the challenge for Jungle Boy to overcome here as he tries to go for a deep under, gonna go in. Didn't really get it. Bear Bronson demonstrated his power that he thrown Jungle Boy, almost sitting on the young man. It was Jungle Boy who used the ropes to his advantage, though, and his in-ring IQ to finally pull off a deep arm drag that did put the match towards his favor. By the way, never mess with a cheerleader's pom-poms, Marco stunt. No bueno. As we continue to move forward in this match, Taz at one point tried to sing Jungle Boy's theme again. I think he strained a vocal cord or something. It was like, eh. But then there was a ridiculous impact off of a German suplex, and Bear Bronson goes for a near fall, not enough. Follow up, though, with Jungle Boy at the very end of this. He doesn't necessarily go for the snare trap, nor goes necessarily off the top rope, but he does pull off with the ropes and assisted DDT. But that was not enough as Bear Bronson continued to fight back. And then Jungle Boy's like, I'm done here. And instead of the snare trap, running, diving, elbow strike to the back of the head, and got him. Jungle Boy prevails and continues to roll forward with momentum ahead of his pending AEW World Championship match in 2 weeks against Kenny Omega. And the crowd, of course, sings along with the theme, and the fans are happy. And the cheerleaders were, I think, bopping to it too. And Taz saying monkey life, jungle life, something like that. And that was literally AEWDARK. So yeah, AEWDARK, less than an hour, basically about an hour long of great TV content. Again, with the fans back, it's much more balanced, but it's also better spaced, I feel like, and a better showcase, and I think better interpreted and presented by fans live and afar too. A great 5-match standard. I wouldn't mind them doing this going forward, especially when they go on the road. And we'll see what happens from there. Again, Diamante, the Red Velvet. I really enjoyed that match personally. That probably was my standout match of the night. And then Kris Statlander and Robyn Renegade. Again, Robyn Renegade, she's got great attitude. I like her strength. And again, those boots, a different type of showcase with her being a former dancer. Kind of changes things up a little bit. And it works to her favor. And she had Kris Statlander good part of this match. But again, Big Bang Theory, that package pile driver, you've done. So bottom line, I enjoyed both shows as always this week, as I just enjoyed wrestling. I continue to see who becomes maybe the future, and I continue to see who AEW continues to elevate. It was good stuff all around. With that being said, folks, there is no Dynamite tomorrow. Remember that. We are once again with a special Friday night Dynamite. Do not forget, as we look at the fallout from AEW Double or Nothing. Again, a phenomenal pay-per-view. I honestly might just do a review tomorrow night. We'll see. But this Friday night, you can expect Dustin Rhodes takes on Nick Comoroto in a bull rope match. We will see the Factory and the Family continue to clash as Cody with Lee Johnson will take on QT Marshall and Anthony Ogogo. As booked just recently, we will see Christian Page and Jungle Boy together. They will take on the duo of Private Party. So that should be a very interesting match. We will also hear from our new, spoiler alert, AEW Women's World Champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and she will have her championship celebration. And we will also see the Young Bucks take on Death Triangle in tag team action, non-title-wise, as they take on the duo of the Bastard, Pac, and Penta El Cielo. And we will also hear from the latest new sign AEW, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, and so much more to come ahead too, as we look forward towards another stacked, awesome episode of AEW Dynamite. So again, great stuff ahead. You gotta love it. And again, as I always say, just enjoy life and enjoy wrestling. With that being said, what did you enjoy this week from AEW or from wrestling? Who is like your brightest star, prospect, or favorite to watch either in AEW Dark Elevation, AEW Dark, or AEW Dynamite? What do you enjoy most about pro wrestling? Let's connect, let's collab, and let's just, share some fun enjoyment and times with wrestling as well. I'm just checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. Ooh, Kylan King liked my tweet. And I think that's about everything going on this week on AEW Dynamite, according to what was said at Double or Nothing. If I could give you any takeaways Double or Nothing, go watch Sheeta vs. Dr. Britt Baker DMD. I thought it was an absolutely tremendous, phenomenal match. Brian Cage and Adam Page set the pace for the entire night with an incredible hard-hitting opener. That was their best match to date. I think they took it further than they ever did before then too. And again, as I alluded to, Kenny Omega, he prevailed in that triple threat, one of the best threats I've ever seen, and he will take on Jungle Boy in 2 weeks. And yeah, literally that is everything so far known for this Dynamite. So another stack show ahead, and who knows what else might be said, overcome, ensue, or be promo said too, especially the Inner Circle winning Stampede was awesome too. But anyway, thanks again for tuning in. I am back. I will be doing these continually weekly. I promise you. Maybe not double takes. I might do simple takes in one night. I don't know. Tonight, though, it just really worked in my favor. But we'll see. But if you want to know more about me and connect with me, know this. I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. So follow me on Twitter at InFoster1916. Want some positive preview of your day? Follow me on Instagram at InFoster1916. And keep following the Simple YouTube channel, youtube.com/C/NoFoster10 for all things wrestling. And shout out to my AEW family on Twitter. The next AEW view is yet to be scheduled. It might be an open mic night. It might be NXT based. It might be NJPW based. It might be AEW based. We haven't decided yet, so stay tuned for more on that. I will be collabing with the Jeff Meacham Network this Saturday as we predict When Our Shadows Fall. And then this Sunday, we will also watch together, live watch along, When Our Shadows Fall as well. The latest preview coming from the NWA. Stay tuned later this week as we'll also have coverage and preview and predictions regarding NJPW Dominion as well. And I will be doing the predictions and civil take on that too, because Dominion is also this Sunday too. And again, these next few Sundays are stacked with wrestling, so stay tuned. As always, I like to close. There are no winners, there are no losers, there are no best. They're just fans with their own opinions for this passion we all share. So at the end of the day, support one another and respect each other. And just enjoy life and enjoy wrestling. Simple as that. That being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Hit the bell notice video on this channel or recorded. And hit the subscribe button to help me keep growing this channel. Shout out to all 202 of you. Just want to be this fun YouTuber creator's journey. It's not letting up anytime soon. And with summer finally coming forward, I promise the summer of wrestling will bring more content too. I can't promise daily because I'll be working, but I promise you more content too. So again, take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Enjoy your loved ones and enjoy wrestling. There's something out there for everybody. Now more than ever, that is truly a possibility. I hope you all enjoyed this double simple take. I hope you all enjoyed AEW. And if you haven't yet, give it a chance. And until the next video, keep it sweet, be elite, take care, and I'll see you next time.